Well, you know why you're here. You know why you clicked. I am not going to give you a lot of fluff. I'm not going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff you don't want to hear. The fact of the matter is that there are probably 5 key reasons why you probably suck at credit. So I'm going to let the kid do her thing so we can dive right into it.
Welcome back to my dad's channel. If you're new here, make sure to click that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to share.
Look, nobody's perfect. And chances are, if you're watching this, you may actually be good with your credit. But the fact of the matter is that these are 5 of the main key things that I have seen with people who have had credit issues. These are some of the issues I've had myself in my many years of credit history. So the fact of the matter is that if you're watching this, you may even know somebody who totally sucks at credit. You yourself may be good, but not perfect, and there's a part of you that sucks at credit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first one, which is going to be a bit of an eye-turning proposition because you've heard a lot of stuff on YouTube about this, but not exactly explained this way. So you probably suck at credit because you don't understand the utility of balances and interest where credit is concerned. Now hold on before you click, before you say, oh my God, everyone always told me to pay my balances off and in full, and if you don't do that, then don't bother. Look, that's great and that's wonderful. Perfect world. Before you move out on your own, that is fantastic until you have children. I have a few. Like, kids are no joke. Like, even if you have like a portion of a kid, if have a kid leave some stuff at your house, somehow they always cost money. Trust and believe, I am an advocate of paying your bills and your balances in full and on time, but sometimes you cannot. And I know this goes contrary to what you hear from a lot of YouTubers, but I'm here to tell you, you can't. So stop trying to live up to that. It's never gonna work. Now, here's the thing. I am not telling you to make a habit of carrying balances because that too is equally stupid, which would make you very stupid or, you would still suck at credit. The fact of the matter is that most smart people who do understand the utility of balances and interest weigh the opportunity cost against carrying a balance forward on their personal credit. Because chances are, if you're doing this, you're not even in the realm where you understand that you can carry balances on your business credit. That's another video for another day. But here's the thing. There are going to be times where you are going to have balances. If you have children, you will have balances. If you have a car, you will have balances. Now, people tend to look at revolving credit a little differently, and they approach it with a different attitude than they do their installment credit. Because let's just face it, I don't care if you pay all your credit cards in full, chances are you probably have a car payment because you couldn't afford your car in cash. So okay, so it's okay to hold a balance there, but not on your credit card. There's an opportunity cost. The car provides a certain amount of value, so you're okay with paying that balance and that interest month to month. There are cases on your credit cards where that will be the case, but that is for you to decide. This is where you get smart so you don't suck at credit. And a final thought on that is that if you do carry a balance, smart people who don't suck at credit understand that they have a balance and they have a clear and measurable plan to chop that balance down as soon as humanly possible. That includes sacrifices, that includes cutting up the credit card. In some cases, they may have to do that. Maybe switching spend to another credit card, doing a balance transfer. That is another key. Another thing is that they have money that is going to come in to cover the cost of said balance that they have to accrue today. And then they pay the convenience, which is interest. Even at the scandalous interest rates that are out there now, understand that this is a necessary evil. So smart people will always have a plan, they will always sacrifice, and they will always make sure that carrying a balance is a one-off as opposed to the norm, which is going to segue into the next reason people suck at credit. Or maybe you suck at credit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a talking guy on a screen. The second reason you probably suck at credit is because you tend to focus on using the limits of your credit cards as an emergency fund or after your money supply has run out, instead of using the limits on your credit cards to optimize and potentially extend and accentuate your money supply. So I know I said a good bit of word salad there, so let's just break it down. You and me, we don't run Fortune 500 companies. So whether we do well, whether we mess up in life, there are no golden parachutes waiting for us. We don't get a payday at the end of the road written into any of our credit card contracts. And trust me, if we did, credit cards would not be a golden parachute anyway. If you find yourself using the credit card as an emergency fund or as a lifeline, understand this, you will always overspend. In the interest of self-preservation, trust me, you will do the best that you can for yourself. You are not trying to survive on the minimum. It's simply human nature. So understand, using a credit card as an emergency lifeline will lead to overspending. I'm not saying I think it will. I'm telling you it absolutely will. Now, if you have credit cards that grant you rewards, the fact of the matter is that they don't have to be credit cards that charge a huge annual fee. You may have free credit cards that give you percentages back, things that can mitigate inflation. Inflation, which is all around us, which is ever present. So now, if you use these credit cards in an optimal fashion, you can optimize your money supply, thereby actually saving for things such as aspirational travel or even a Christmas club. If you save said money, I just got a recent card with Fidelity. You can use it to actually invest for your kids' future, for your future, into brokerage accounts. There are so many different avenues to optimize your money supply. While using credit vehicles, there's really no reason to depend on these things as a golden parachute. If it comes to a situation where you have to do that, you have no cash, you've been robbed, all you have is credit cards, okay, we're not going to go all the way to that extreme, but the fact of the matter is, extreme or not, it could happen. I'm not talking to you. You're not being stupid on purpose. You were forced into a verifiable emergency. I am talking to the people who run out of cash and literally fall to credit cards the instant they run out of cash without sacrificing anything they have going on, which will lead us into our third reason you're probably just not great with credit, and that is your attitude about money. You don't respect money. So you don't understand that there is power in money, and money's power is in its use, not in its saving. Yes, it's great to accrue money, and competence is always compensated. But the fact is that you probably suck at credit because you don't respect money, so just as soon as it touches your hand, it's flying out. And the fact that you have a reservoir of money in a credit card is probably something that perpetuates bad spending habits. You have people who go into stores and cannot leave without buying something, be it a stick of gum, maybe a shelf, who knows? But you have to get your attitude about money in line with the fact that credit cards are not free money. I will repeat this again. Credit cards are not free money. I don't care if it's a credit card. I don't care if it's a charge card. Look, this is a loan. And I can tell you right now, they want their interest. You are not the United States federal government simply taking interest-free loans from everyone around you. Trust me, you take from a credit card company, they're gonna get their money from you. You take too much, you gotta pay the points. That's just how it is. But your attitude in money will actually determine how you use credit cards. And that attitude may actually have you playing shell games where you run up balances and you're just literally filling out credit apps just to transfer balances. That's not gonna help. That's still a poor attitude. If you find yourself being one of those people who wait on an income tax return as if for some reason it's not money that you are already owed, chances are this rule applies to you. If you're the person who thinks of how they can spend money, the next expenditure they can make, instead of the next bill that they can close, this rule probably applies to you. Understand, close your obligations before you make expenditures. That is a good money attitude. So that is where we're gonna leave you here. Poor money attitude is probably why you suck at credit. Now, another thing is that you associate credit cards with debt without fully understanding exactly how that works. So with that being said, you have to understand that there has never been a single credit card in the history of ever that has accrued a balance without someone swiping it, giving out the number, or just doing something stupid. So trust me, like a lot of things, if you just leave them alone, they can't do any harm. It's the human element that tends to, gum up the works. And that will segue into what I've already mentioned, is that people's idea that credit cards are free money. This is where I need to explain to you when you can afford something versus when you can pay for it. You have $5, there's a $5 item. You can A, pay for and afford it. $5 for $5. Now, I made an example about your vehicle. Most people aren't running around with $30, $40, $50,000 cash in their pocket. So you tend to go, you put a little down. Hey, you can pay for your car, but can you afford it? That remains to be seen, because with maintenance, the true cost of a car is normally well above what the sticker price is. But if you successfully pay off the car and get all of the use out of it that you can, congratulations, you are able to afford the car. Now, sometimes people can actually pay for things which they cannot afford. If I am working at a Taco Bell for $8 an hour, I am not going on Tesla.com looking for anything that goes zoom zoom. I may get like an accessory or something, but I already know that even though I have a job, I may have pristine credit, I can get a cosigner, my income will not support that payment. So I can pay for the car, I simply can't afford the car. I hope I didn't lose anybody with that analogy. But the fact of the matter is that people associate credit cards with debt immediately because they have normally been advised by someone who is an overspender. And if you're an overspender, credit cards will lead you down the line of debt, no questions asked, period, point blank. It's literally like a greasy slide. As soon as you get one, just you're done. You're done, you're done, you're done. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the final reason that you probably suck at credit. So, chances are you probably suck at credit because you don't actually know what credit means. Now, follow me here. We're going to go into a little bit of accounting. And, a good friend of the channel, Manny Covington, I do believe he is a burgeoning CPA. So, shout out Manny Covington. He can let me know if I am off the mark here. But the fact of the matter is, a credit card is not a gift. It can be used as a tool. But what that means from an accounting standpoint is that an issuer has taken a risk on you. And they have said, okay, Chad, he's a great guy, has a YouTube channel, and he does Tesla talks, so he's a cool guy. We're gonna give him X amount of dollars. So on their balance sheet, they're gonna move that to the credit side. And we're gonna give him X amount of dollars via a card that he can use up to a certain limit, his credit limit. What that credit means is literally from an accounting standpoint is money going out of the bank to you for whatever reason. So now, why is this important? This is important because I have been reiterating that people think credit cards are free money. Credit cards are not free money. They are loans. So then you ask yourself, okay, so what makes a debit card different? Happy you asked. Now with a debit card, and before they started stamping Visa and MasterCard all over every single debit card you got, you didn't have a credit card logo on there, so you couldn't use them at stores as you use credit cards. You had to go to an ATM because a debit card means that when you use that card, you have to have money in the account. You have to put it into the institution in order to transact things. So that money is there. The cash, the liability is on you. It's not on the issuer as it is with a credit card. So I hope I didn't lose anybody with that, but the fact is most people don't understand exactly what a credit card is and how much of a liability you are to the issuer. Even if you carry a balance, you think to yourself, oh my God, I carry a balance, they're making all this money off of me in interest, they should leave me alone. No, you're still actually a liability because now they don't know if they're gonna get their money and or the interest that you signed, the T's and C's to pay them. So you are always a liability with a credit card. That's why you always have to apply for credit cards. Haven't you noticed how much harder it is to get a credit card than it is to get a bank account? It all depends on who's funding it. So the hand that pays is the hand that rules. So you probably suck at credit because you don't even know the meaning of the word credit. So that was a quick reminder of, well, the word credit. So I'll leave you with this adage is that it is infinitely better to have bad credit than no credit at all, because at least when you have bad credit, people know who you are. No credit at all, no one's gonna take you on as a liability because they don't even know if you exist. So understand what credit is in relation to your finances. Understand that you credit money out when you pay your bills. You credit it out to your utility companies, and when you get paid, you debit money in. Bada bing, bada boom. That's it. Most of the time, these terms get interchanged, and you know how the American lexicon is. Whatever sounds good, we roll with it, even if it doesn't make particularly good sense, but I am here to put you on the right track. So just as a wrap up, just some advice from Chad's Money Minutes. Look, I've been there. I am a human. You are a human. It is okay to make mistakes. Look, don't sweat it. But making the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again, that's no good. Nobody's gonna feel bad for you because you at that point, you're just stupid. So here's the thing. Take a step back. Worry about your money attitudes. Change your money attitudes from negative to positive. Understand that debt can be a powerful tool if leveraged properly. Look at the Elon Musk and the Jeff Bezoses. Look, a lot of these people, even if they were born rich, did not have enough money to do the things that they have done. They leveraged their good name and their good credit and carried enormous balances on the hopes that they could provide value for the money that they were lent, and some of them became wildly successful. So debt is not always the worst thing in the world as long as the opportunity cost supports it. So I'm not gonna tie you guys up any longer. I am going to go ahead and sign off here. As you can notice, not at the Park Hyatt anymore. That hotel was awesome. I am back at home. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about that one. And until next time, I guess you can look at some videos here. I'll go ahead and throw them up here. And I will catch you on the next one.